I see trees of green,
So you're bowing a little bit.
red roses too.
Goes down.
I see them
And this one over here goes up.
bloom for me and you. And I think to myself,
There you are. Okay. All right. See you later.
what a wonderful world.
Okay.
I see skies of blue
Over there.
and clouds of
That
white.
probably is really neat.
The bright, blessed day, the dark, sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I never knew. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, yeah.
Welcome, everyone, to our 2025 ITE gathering. What a wonderful world. I'm Judy Tate, Chair of the International Teacher Education Board. Wasn't it delightful to hear Louis Armstrong's silky, smooth voice, reminding all of us of the wonderful world in which we live? However, wherever we live on our planet, it's also a world that can often seem filled with challenges of all sorts. Fires, floods, political and social upheavals, seemingly endless wars. But in the midst of those challenges, we know it's important that we pause and reflect on the many, many wonderful aspects of our world. And today, that's exactly what we're going to be doing as we focus on the wonderful worlds of our ITE scholars. Alpha Delta Kappa has brought over 250 women scholars from 70 nations to study in our country since the International Teacher Education Program was created in 1961. This year alone, our ITE scholars come to us from Bangladesh, the country of Georgia, Indonesia, Peru, the Philippines, and Vietnam. Just over the past decade, we've also welcomed scholars from Afghanistan, Argentina, Armenia, Austria, Azerbaijan, Costa Rica, Estonia, Kazakhstan, Mali, Mexico, Thailand, and Turkey. These nations, of course, face their own challenges, but our scholars' intellect, talent, ambition, and courage have brought them to us. Together with Alpha Delta Kappa sisters from coast to coast, they are creating a new and wonderful world alongside ours in this country. As we were putting together this virtual gathering, we wondered, have you had the opportunity to meet a scholar or get to know anyone from the list of countries our ITE scholars have come from in just the past 10 years, please take a moment to look at the list of countries and respond to a poll. Sisters, as you respond, on the right side of the pop-up box is a gray bar that you need to pull down to answer the poll question. If you have trouble with it, not to worry. This is just for a bit of fun. But if you're able to do so, please take a moment to respond. And here's your statement to respond to. I have traveled to or have had the chance to meet someone from Afghanistan, Argentina, Armenia, Austria, Azerbaijan, Bangladesh, Costa Rica, Estonia, Georgia, Indonesia, Kazakhstan, Mali, Mexico, Peru, the Philippines, Thailand, Turkey, or Vietnam. Please record your answer, your choice, when Phyllis switches the screen. Your choices will be 0 to 2 of these countries, 3 to 4 of these countries, 5 to 6 of these countries, or more than 6.
Closing the poll in 30 seconds.
Well, it looks as though many of us have much, much more exploring to do in our futures. Although visiting these countries may remain a dream, over the past 6 decades, the IT scholars have given us meaningful access to every one of those nations and cultures and many, many others. They've certainly given us world understanding up close and personal. When the ITE board selected today's theme, I asked that every woman who will speak this afternoon share something from her own personal world that was especially wonderful to her. A person, a place, a pet, an activity, a flavor, an idea, whatever she chose. I tell you, each of us struggled to focus on only one example from our own worlds. And I expect that probably would have been the case with you as well if I'd asked you to do the same thing. As I reflected on the many wonderful aspects of my own world, I realized how very fortunate I am to have lived all around the globe throughout my life and to be able still to travel as often as I wish with those I love. And now it is my honor to introduce our international leaders. International President Anne-Marie Brown, please bring greetings and tell us just an aspect of your wonderful world.
Welcome, esteemed international teacher education scholars and members. It is with great joy that we gather today to celebrate the transformative power of education and the extraordinary individuals who dedicate their lives to shaping the future. We are a part of a global network united by a shared commitment to fostering understanding, nurturing growth, and building bridges across cultures and communities. As we connect and collaborate, we are reminded of the beautiful truth. What a wonderful world, made even more remarkable by the educators who inspire change each day. Family enriches my world. My husband Wayne has been by my side for over 50 years. Our 2 sons and their families serve as a bridge to the future. Spencer, our older son, and his family live in Colorado, while Stuart and his family reside in Virginia. I cherish each opportunity to spend time with them and celebrate the love and connections that make life meaningful. Let this event be a celebration of our shared purpose, a catalyst for innovation, and a testament to the boundless possibilities we can achieve together. Thank you for being here and for being part of this incredible journey.
And Anne Marie, thank you so much as well. We're also delighted that International President-elect Conway Blankenship is with us today. Please share a bit about your wonderful world, Conway.
Thank you, Judy. I want to welcome each of you to this special event today that brings us together in celebration of our organization and the ITE program. Truly, we live in a wonderful world, one that provides all of us opportunities to enjoy traveling to locations that are special to us. I am my happiest whenever I can walk in the sand along any beach.
Thank you, Conway. I think we'd like to join you at that beach. Sandy Wolf, who chairs our Alpha Delta Kappa Foundation Board, is at this very moment representing Alpha Delta Kappa at a national meeting of the Alzheimer's Association. But she prepared in advance a PowerPoint for us to highlight the foundation's very important work and its vital connection to the ITE program.
I'm Sandy Wolf, chairman of the Alpha Delta Kappa Foundation. I discovered this beautiful field of sunflowers last summer on a farm in Michigan. Admission to the acres of sunflowers was by donation, which benefited local charitable organizations. Their altruism made me think of our Alpha Delta Kappa Foundation and our International Teacher Education Program. Working together, the Alpha Delta Kappa organization and the Alpha Delta Kappa Foundation work together hand in hand. The organization is led by the International Executive Board and creates and oversees the implementations of scholarships, grants, and altruistic programs. The Alpha Delta Kappa Foundation Incorporated raises, holds, and invests funds for the benefit of the organization. Monetary distributions are made from the foundation to the organization to fund our scholarships and grants programs, such as the International Teacher Education Program, also known as ITE. You might wonder, how is the foundation funded? $1 from each member's international dues goes to the foundation. There's a $20 ITE payment from each chapter. Donations made to the foundation by members and non-members, which includes Honor a Sister, Honor a Special Alpha Delta Kappa Group, Remembrance, etc. Income from the foundation's investment portfolio, and bequests from wills and trusts. The foundation's budget includes line items designed for ITE, $70,000 per year in awards of up to $10,000 per student for up to 7 students each year. Travel for ITE scholars to regional conferences and the international convention, and funding for emergency situations. Let's take a closer look at how the ITE program is funded. Funding for the ITE program includes the $20 ITE payment made by each chapter. We have approximately 1,100 chapters times $20 equals $22,000 that goes to the foundation. However, these payments alone are not enough to fully fund the program, as we need over $70,000 each year. Therefore, additional funds are necessary to fund ITE, and they are drawn from the pool of money that's created from the $1 from each member's dues, donations, investment income, and bequests. Donations make a big difference. Your donations help build our pool of funds so international scholarships, grants, and other altruistic programs can be funded. Your donations are greatly appreciated. The Alpha Delta Kappa Board of Directors for the Foundation are Sandy Wolf, Ann Quinlan, Ellen Roderick, Judy Gansard, Christy Smith, Molly Acosta, and Sue Wade. We proudly support and celebrate our exemplary ITE scholars. Congratulations. We are so proud of you and wish you the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Anne Marie, Conway, and Sandy, for your truly visionary leadership. You make each of our worlds more wonderful, and we are grateful to you. Also with us today are International Teacher Education Board members, Barb Eason and Mary Jo Heller.
I'm
Barb.
Sandy Wolf.
Hello, I'm Barb Eason. This is my 4th year on the ITE board. What an honor it is to have the opportunity to get to know these exceptional scholars. There are many wonderful things in my world. I especially enjoy the special connections and sense of community in our neighborhood. This is a picture of our 4 o'clock walking group that we started during COVID. Each day we meet at 4 o'clock to walk for about 45 minutes. This gives us time for exercising, talking, and laughing. It helps our physical and emotional health.
Mary Jo.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. And Mary, if you turn on my camera, that'd be wonderful. I am the newest member of the ITE board. This is my 2nd year on the board. This photo is a corner of my craft room where my wonderful world can be full of color and creativity. I can revisit the places around the world that we have loved and visited and lived through the colorful scrapbooks I make. I can connect with friends and loved ones with many cards and words.
Thanks, Barb. Mary Jo. The ITE board is very grateful to Phyllis Robinette of our headquarters staff, who has been our tech support throughout putting this webinar together for you today.
Hi, I'm Phyllis Robinette. I am your headquarters membership and marketing specialist and your Colorado sister. My wonderful world is a part of sharing travel with my family. This was a lifelong dream in which we went on a special birthday for myself to Paris.
Thank you, Barb, Mary Jo, and Phyllis, for your dedicated service to the ITE program and for sharing your worlds with us.
This year's webinar perfectly captures what the International Teacher Education Program provides for the Alpha Delta Kappa members and our ITE scholars. Since its founding in 1961, the first 3 scholars arrived in 1963. This program has truly provided a bridge between the worlds of the 250 educators from 70 different nations who have crossed the bridge from their varied worlds to our country in their journey to pursue a master's degree in education.
Today, you will hear from each of our 7 current ITE scholars. Each will give you a bit about her background and culture, as well as the educational journey she's pursuing here following her visionary, ambitious, and courageous trip across the ITE bridge to a new world. And now let's meet the 7 extraordinary women who have crossed many bridges, both metaphorical and literal, on their journeys as ITE scholars. They're eager to tell you about their individual experiences as bridge crossers and discoverers of the new worlds.
Begin by introducing you to our first year ITE scholars, Alejandra, Shanila, and Mary. We'll begin with Alejandra.
Hola, queridas hermanas. Hello, dear sisters. My name is Alejandra Cos, and I come from the ancestral land of Peru. In pursuit of my lifelong dream to study in the US, I decided to leave my magical home country and relocate myself all the way up to the Northeast to the land of the Red Sox and clam chowder, Boston, Massachusetts. The weather and the food up here are certainly quite different from what I'm used to, but I wouldn't change this experience for anything. I'm extremely grateful to be an international student at the Harvard Graduate School of Education, where I'm currently pursuing a master's in learning design, innovation, and technology. My goal is to specialize in EdTech and adult education so that I can go back to Peru and contribute to transforming the post-secondary educational landscape over there. I want to start by showing you what my wonderful world looks like. As you can see on the left, Peru is home to the ancient Inca city of Machu Picchu, one of the new seven wonders of the world. Located in Cusco, high in the Andes Mountains, it is one of the most visited tourist attractions in the world. I have been very fortunate to visit this site twice, and I highly encourage everyone I meet to go visit it at least once in their lifetime. I'm happy to say that I have already convinced two of my Harvard classmates to go during the summer. Besides Cusco, I have also visited other amazing cities in Peru, like Iquitos and Arequipa, which you can see on the bottom right. Other amazing sites that make up my wonderful home are the Nazca Lines, the Costa Verde, the Amazon River, the Titicaca Lake, and the Huacachina Oasis. While I may not have visited all of them yet, they make me proud of Peru's rich heritage and stunning landscapes. We are known as one of the most biodiverse countries in the world, and each of these sites contributes to the diversity that makes us unique. My homeland is definitely one of the main elements of my identity, and I hope someday you get the chance to explore the wonders of my beautiful country. And if the landscapes were not enough, perhaps these 5 intriguing facts will convince you to visit my world. Number 1, did you know that Peru is celebrated for having the best food in the world? And I literally mean the best. Every year, we come first in the rankings for the world's leading culinary destination at the World Travel Awards, and our capital, Lima, is home to 2 of the top 10 restaurants in the world. If you're curious to try any of our popular dishes, I recommend 2 of my favorites, ceviche and lomo saltado. Number 2, our land was home to Caral, the oldest city and civilization in the Americas. It is so old that it even predates the iconic Egyptian pyramids. Number 3, Peru is the birthplace of the potato. Did you know that we have over 4,000 varieties? Number 4, have you ever heard about our beloved national soft drink, Inca Cola? It is so cherished that it even outsells Coca-Cola here, which is why the Coca-Cola Group decided to buy it in 2001. And number 5, finally, our passion for soccer was recognized globally when we were named the best fans in the world by FIFA during the 2018 World Cup. This was actually our first World Cup after 36 years, and we made quite an impression. Now it's time that I introduce you to the key element that makes up my wonderful world in Peru, my family. My mom and my dad are my role models in life. They have been married for almost 35 years and are not only successful professionals, but also loving parents and partners. They are both lawyers and were always really keen on giving me and my sister, Gabriela, the best education. That is how we ended up studying in the same university as they did for our undergrad, which is the best university in Peru. She studied to be an architect, and I studied educational psychology. This university is also the place where I met my partner, Carlos. He is a diplomat, and hopefully in a couple of years, we will live abroad together representing our country. Finally, on the bottom right corner are my three nannies, Katy, Nessie, and Rosita. These amazing women took care of me when I was younger, and I could not be more grateful to call them part of my family too. Now, I would like to show you another aspect of my wonderful world, my work and my hobbies. My first picture here is with my beloved dog, Bingo. He is 4 years old and he's actually my first pet ever. I had never owned a dog before because my mom hated them. But during COVID, I convinced her to adopt a dog, and even though she still doesn't love him as much as we all do, I can tell that Bingo is growing in on her. She was even the one who picked out his name. Next to my picture with Bingo is a picture of me in a film studio. I used to work as a learning experience designer, and this is a photo of me when I was filming a course about AI in education. Also, I love debating. I have traveled to 5 different countries to participate in debating conferences organized by Harvard, winning awards as a delegate and later on as a coach. I was even team president afterwards. And finally, I am also a fitness instructor. I teach classes in a studio in Peru, and I love applying learning principles to adult and physical education. I'm really glad I had the chance to tell you more about Peru, but I also want to share that I love traveling and getting to know new cultures. There is a really wonderful world waiting for us out there. This is part of what drove me to study outside of my home country. And this is what my wonderful world looks like now. Between classes, conferences, seminars, and networking events, it is really hard to keep up with everything at Harvard, but I think I'm doing a good job so far. I'm doing really well in my classes, and I even got an internship at a research laboratory on campus. I'm also making sure to spend time with my wonderful new friends. I have met people from all over the world, and I'm incredibly happy to learn so much from them and their cultures. Also, if you look very closely at the bottom middle picture, you can see that I got a photo with Reese Witherspoon. The memories I'm making here are definitely invaluable. It is a wonderful world here in Massachusetts, but it wouldn't be as amazing without my lovely sponsors, Sarah and Nancy. They have been extremely caring, and I couldn't be more grateful for them. Between all the food they got for me and the plans they have taken me to, they have made my experience here feel just like home. Finally, I want to thank all of you, my dear Alpha Delta Kappa sisters. Your generosity and thoughtfulness have enriched my time here immensely. Every week, I was surprised by all the postcards and gifts I received from you. You've made me feel so special, and I'm eternally grateful to you for welcoming me into your family. You have created a wonderful world for me here, and I can't wait to meet you all in person soon. Muchas gracias.
Thanks, Alexandra. I loved hearing about all the facts about Peru. And now let's meet Shanila.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum, and Shubha Bikal to everyone present here. I am Shehnila Naj, a first year ITE scholar from Bangladesh, and it is my honor to welcome you all to take a peek into my wonderful world. I am from Bangladesh, a small country located between India and Myanmar. My family has lived in the bustling capital of Dhaka for as long as I can remember. The cornerstone of my world that makes my world smooth like butter and at times makes me shudder is my family. After my father passed away in 2014, my mother became our pillar of strength, raising our family single handedly. My elder sister's kids, as you can see in the picture, have since become our center of attraction, joy, and the most important part of my world that makes it wonderful. I am also blessed with a large and supportive network of cousins who are more like my siblings. Unlike many, we don't wait for holidays or special occasions to meet. They are integral to my life. I am also fortunate to have incredible friends from my school and college days who stood by me during my most challenging moments. Even at work, where meaningful friendships are often rare, I have been lucky enough to find people who truly enrich my life. And last but not least, I have been appreciated, celebrated, and loved by my students too, as you can see in the bottom right corner. My wonderful world is incomplete without them. In 2015, I embraced the motto, "Not all those who wander are lost," and began exploring the world around me. Here are some shots from my trips from Annapurna Range in the top right corner, followed by Galle Beach in Sri Lanka, to world's longest sea beach on the left side of the slide, followed by the turquoise blue waters of Phi Island. My journeys have taken me across Bangladesh and to several Southeast Asian countries like Sri Lanka, Thailand, India, and Nepal. Each experience deepening my appreciation for life and broadening my horizons. As George Bernard Shaw rightly said, there is no sincerer love than the love of food. Food has always been my comfort, and moving to the United States made me realize how much I missed my favorite dishes like chotpoti fuchka, rasgulla, and our all-time staple and comfort food, bhat and bharta. Out of sheer desperation and midnight cravings, I learned to cook these dishes myself, an unexpected but extremely rewarding skill. Bangladesh, my homeland, is a country of contrasts and experiences a tropical climate influenced by the monsoon. Once known for its 6 distinct seasons, we now primarily have summer, monsoon, and winter due to the effects of global warming. Prolonged summers with extreme heat waves have become the norm, with temperatures reaching a scorching 110.6 degrees Fahrenheit last year. Yet, the monsoon remains beautiful despite its challenges. As a coastal country, Bangladesh is vulnerable to cyclones such as Sidor in 2007, Amphan in 2020, and most recently Remal in 2024. Cyclone Remal alone impacted 3.7 million lives in Bangladesh, destroyed thousands of homes, and took 19 lives. Despite these hardships, we persevere, rebuilding our lives and standing strong. Our history reflects this spirit too. The International Mother Language Day, celebrated on February 21st, pays tribute to the language movement initiated by Bangladeshis in 1952. The brutal 9-month-long liberation war of 1971 testifies to our courage and determination. As the daughter of a freedom fighter, I carry immense pride in our nation's sacrifices. For those interested, I have included a QR code linking to George Harrison's iconic song in the bottom right corner, released in July 1971 to raise awareness about Bangladesh's plight during the Liberation War. Despite these challenges, Bangladesh thrives. We are the world's leading exporter of jute products, the second largest exporter of ready-made garments, and 12th largest tea producers. Before coming to the United States, I taught at Brack University and worked with Save the Children on an education-focused project. Through these experiences, I identified gaps in the use of technology in education, which motivated me to pursue my master's at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign to study educational technology. My time at U of I has been nothing short of extraordinary. Learning from faculty members whose work I once admired feels like meeting rock stars in real life. Beyond academics, I have embraced campus life, serving as the member chair of the Fulbright Student Association for 2024-2025 panel, making incredible friends along the way. The friendships I have formed here have been truly incredible, but one person deserves special mention, Miss Valerie Johnson. She has made my transition to this distant, cold country truly remarkable. From my first apple cider at an orchard to experiencing my first Thanksgiving parade and dinner, which was actually a lunch, but I understand why Americans call it a dinner. Valerie has been a constant source of warmth and thoughtfulness. She has given me so many of my firsts that I will always cherish. Finally, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to Alpha Delta Kappa family. Every card I receive in my mailbox reminds me that I am not alone, even when I am 7,905 miles away from home. Thank you all for being part of my journey and allowing me to share my story with you today.
Thanks, Janila. That was great. Now, let's hear from Mary.
მოგესალმებით ძვირფასო მეგობრებო. Hello, dear sisters. I am Mary Kadagidze, IT scholar from Georgia, საქართველო. I'm studying at the University of Washington in Seattle and pursuing a master's degree in education, leadership, and policy. Thank you for letting me share what I love, what I serve, and what change I want to bring to the world. But firstly, I want to express my gratitude to Alpha Delta Kappa and every single sister in the United States, ITE board, and you for supporting me and simply showing your immense love and care for all of us. I want to express gratitude to my sponsors, Sue Dorning and Kathy Fleming, and their wonderful families who opened the doors and shared their lives with a person they only knew from the papers. I also want to thank Gled Lauren, Mary Jo Heller, Carol Fujioka, Penny Hug, who are my best friends here and always ready to support me. Since the very first day in August, I have felt welcomed and loved every single day, and I'm eternally grateful for this wonderful experience. Now, let me introduce you to my wonderful world and, of course, the people I love most, my family. On the top left, you see my grandma, who was the most wonderful teacher, woman, and human being, and a true inspiration for me. In the middle, you see my dad, mom, my brother, and my sister-in-law. And you can also find her in the top right corner, as she is more like a best friend or even a sister to me. In the bottom right corner, you see my auntie, who is also a teacher like you, and my best friend. And finally, meet our family baby boss, my niece, Anano, who runs the household now and brings joy to everyone. Growing up in the teacher's family, we always placed the highest priority on books and education, then on food, relaxation, or anything else. And I'm pleased that by being here, I'm also able to express my gratitude to my lovely parents and my family, who truly did their best and everything they could to give me these opportunities. And here you see my lovely friends and colleagues who are currently working hard to bring change and serve our country. They encouraged me to start this adventure, and they are the second family for me. And you can just tell how happy I am with them. I often say that I'm from Georgia, the country, as quite often it's mistaken for the beautiful state of Georgia. But in fact, it's just a coincidence that we share the name. Georgia is located in the eastern end of the Black Sea. It's bounded on the north and northeast by Russia, on the east and southeast by Azerbaijan, and on the south by Armenia and Turkey. And well, it's beautiful in all 4 seasons. Georgia is on the borderline between Europe and Asia, and it represents the perfect mix of Western and Eastern cultures. Due to its location, our people have always had to fight for freedom and independence. Even today, Russia still occupies 20% of our territories, and we continue to fight for our independence and our position within the European family. What else do you need to know about Georgia? Georgia is one of the oldest civilizations in the world and homeland of the so-called first Europeans, Caucasians, Zezwa and Mzia. It's also the oldest winemaking country. Georgia has the unique language and alphabet, and not only 1, but 3. You can find the second longest brick wall in the world, the highest settlement in Europe, and 12 climate zones in our country. While Georgia means the land of wolves, we are land of powerful women. On the left side, you see the mother of Georgians. She symbolizes the Georgian national character. In her left hand, she holds a bowl of wine to greet those who come as friends, and in the right hand is a sword for those who come as enemies. We host friends with a beautiful tradition of supra, feasting, which is a non-material cultural heritage that describes the way Georgian people honor their ancestors, guests, their God, and their country. Additionally, Supra serves as a beautiful symbol of the values expressed in the toasts made by the Toastmasters. Georgian folk songs are the best component of the Supra. It's often been said that Georgian folk singing is out of this world. That's quite a literally true case with a particular song, Chadrulo, which 40 years ago went into space. While you immerse yourself in all those adventures in our past, in our present, you should be aware that we serve some of the best food in the world. You can see famous Georgian khinkali and khachapuri, dumplings and cheesy bread, which you can also easily find in the United States. But this is only 1% of our cuisine, and there is always much to explore. And never forget, we never count calories, but only good memories when it comes to food. Finally, what am I going to make the world a wonderful place for everyone? There are so many things to do, right? I have been working in the education field for about 7 years. And my main projects included organizing the National Teacher Prize campaign, the biggest event in Georgia. I was doing advocacy for the school meal programs, and you see kids on the picture who helped us with their performance. I was also developing the new programs for our schools, and I'm very proud that with my leadership, social and emotional learning became the part of our curriculum, and teachers have access to all sorts of resources and support. I'm also researching the history of education, and you see the cover of the book I wrote with my colleagues, and I'm very proud of it. Activism is my second, and I would say the most important job. On the right side, you see the photos that presents our liberation movement from the 19th century. Education has always been the front line of the liberation movements in Georgia against the Russian oppression. I'm proud that I'm part of this historical moment with all the teachers, with my friends, and with my colleagues and family. This is why, while I'm here with your support in the United States, the only purpose for me is to learn as much as possible and to be ready to lead the change when I go back to my country. As my closing remark, I want to remember what Judy told us. We are here not only for our achievements, but for what and how we can contribute to the society here. So thank you once again for this opportunity. And yes, I will do my best to share my wonderful world with you and also to make the change here and then back in my Georgia. Thank you.
Thank you, Alejandra, Shanila, and Mary, for those insights into your worlds. As we said earlier, the ITE scholars have come to us from a wide range of countries, and they have brought their varied traditions with them. They learn from us, and we learn so much from them. We expose them to Halloween, St. Patrick's Day, and the 4th of July, and they share their special celebrations with us. We're wondering which of their significant holidays you have experienced through them or with others. There will be a poll on the screen. If you cannot make this poll work, don't worry, it's just for fun. But how many of these holidays important to the cultures of our ITE students have you experienced? Please fill out the poll now. Remember, there is a gray bar on the side if you can't see the entire poll. I won't try to read these celebrations with you, but certainly if you have experienced them, you will know them and how they are pronounced. You still have a few moments to fill out this poll.
Thirty seconds.
30 seconds is still available to you. We'll see your results in a moment. It looks like most of you have experienced perhaps 3 to 4 of these celebrations, and I'll bet you're looking forward to experiencing more of them.
And enlightening to invite a scholar to a chapter meeting during which she could share the special holidays and celebrations of her home country with you. You'll find contact information for all the scholars on the international website. We've already learned a great deal this afternoon. Now let's take a brief break. When the following delightful music video ends in about 3 minutes, we will resume.
I see skies blue, clouds white, bright blessed days and the dark secret night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful
Oh, yes.
I love that video. What song could be more appropriate? Through the ITE program, we are indeed helping to create a truly wonderful world. Before the break, you heard a bit about the cultures and educational journey of our first-year scholars, Alejandra, Shanila, and Mary. Now let's hear from our second-year ITE scholars, each of whom will be completing her master's degree this spring. Rose, Fong, Sarah, and Do Singh are going to share a wonderful aspect of their worlds, and they're going to share what they have gained from their graduate studies over the past year and a half. as well as the impact that they hope to have on their own country after they return home later this year.
Rose will start off this portion of our gathering.
Pagbati Alpha Delta Kappa sisters, my name is Rosemary Jane Rementina, and I came from the Pearl of the Orient Seas, the Philippines. From a tropical country, I moved to the Midwest, a totally opposite climate, and I am a second-year master's student in special education at the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities. Mountains, oceans, and endless sunshine define the world I grew up in. Over the past year and a half, though, my surroundings have shifted to lakes and cooler weather, a beautiful change that even led me to travel and witness the breathtaking Grand Canyon. Yet one constant remains, my Filipino identity and my passion as an educator, grounded by the unwavering support of my family back in the Philippines and my sisters in the Alpha Delta Kappa community. Have I told you yet about what my world looks like before? Let's have a bit of a time travel, my personal journey from past to present. My family calls me Jane, and as a kid, I loved singing, dancing, and leading school events. My late grandmother Juliet helped raise me, teaching us the importance of prayer and family. Every New Year's Eve, we will gather. Me, my sister Karen, brother Sir, and our parents Marilyn and Restituto, with 12 types of round fruits on the table, sharing a meal and saying a prayer as the midnight struck. We'd go up to the rooftop to see the smoky sky filled with fireworks from all over the neighborhood. This New Year tradition, along with our daily family meals and conversations, is what I miss the most. Growing up, we would visit my father's hometown in Marinduque to see our grandparents and relatives. The journey from Manila takes around 12 hours by ship, jeepney, van, and tricycle. And being in the heart of the Philippines, it's surrounded by oceans. So as a kid, we often went to the Pebbled Beach or Poctoy's famous white sand beach. The island's Moriones Festival is observed during the Holy Week, where people wear masks and costumes, looking like the Roman soldiers, and there are reenactments of Jesus' suffering, crucifixion, death, and resurrection. My father and his siblings also manage coconut copra, where they harvest and sell in the market. We also visit my mom's hometown in Nueva Ecija each Christmas for a reunion on my late grandmother's birthday, December 25th, and we enjoy swimming, singing karaoke and carols door to door to earn some Christmas money. And also known as the rice granary of the Philippines, our relatives harvest rice twice a year. Though farmers often earn only around 30 cents in US dollar per kilogram, and with income disappearing during typhoons. On the positive side, a local agricultural university creates innovative foods like tilapia ice cream, which doesn't taste like fish. And my parents met in Manila, and we've lived there since. We spend weekends in the mall as this is the nearest fun place in the city. You can shop, eat, do grocery, go to the salon, or just stay for the air conditioning. Christmas starts in September, so expect that malls have those big decorations up already. Public transportation like jeepneys are available anytime, and you can pay cash to the driver about 20 cents in US dollars. And before coming here, I was a special education teacher for transition age students and later worked in the government and a nonprofit focused on disability services. My passion grew in providing employability skills training to help people with disabilities find jobs and lead more fulfilling lives. And now here I am in a whole new world of the US where I experienced the 4 seasons and different American celebrations. If you could guess my favorite season, it's not winter nor it's summer. I love fall. And I'm currently living one of my answered prayers, the graduate school. After 3 years of trying, I'm grateful for the Fulbright and ITE scholarships that believed in my passion to bridge the gap between education and employment for people with disabilities. Now I'm finishing my thesis on the employment experiences of people with intellectual and developmental disabilities in the US and the Philippines, and aiming to amplify their voices and inspire advocates for inclusive education and employment. The journey has connected me with Fulbrighters worldwide, and I've learned from professionals, experts, and professors, gaining valuable resources I hope to bring back to my country. In addition to full-time studies, I host a monthly podcast featuring interviews with professionals for general audience and international students. I also recently completed my Master Gardener internship and serve as the Vice President for 2 international student organizations. My love for learning from other cultures inspired me to take on these leadership roles. And what a wonderful out here in the States. It's such a blessing to experience this and observe the culture and the beauty of each state. Traveling allowed me to learn more about myself, the place, and others. And speaking of traveling, I'll be back home soon, and I anticipate to graduate on May 16th, 2025. Then, I'll transition into an administrator role at a school where I once interned as a special education teacher. Ultimately, I hope to create a space where youth, with or without disabilities, can learn employability skills in farming or gardening. I look forward to reconnecting with your support in this mission. And before I go back home, Mary and Kathy, my twin moms, are the people I will definitely miss the most. They listened to me and I felt heard. They fed me, literally dressed me, and took great care of me. And I blossomed as a real rose because of them. Thank you, my twin moms. I will cherish all our memories together. I'd also like to say thank you to my Minnesota Alpha Alpha sisters for the warm relationship I found with each of you. And I'd also like to thank the Minnesota State for welcoming me as an honorary member, and to all the other chapters who continuously share their heartwarming letters and gifts. Thank you, NCR Region, Minnesota Alpha Rho, Minnesota Phi, Virginia Alpha Psi, and Gamma Eta Texas chapters for allowing me to speak in your gatherings as well. And to our ITE board, Judy, Barb, and Mary Jo, thank you for your constant check-in and supervision to us. Dear sisters, thank you for acknowledging and accommodating us in all of our needs as international scholars. Your community and impact is not temporary but permanent. True to the Alpha Delta Kappa hymn, you are light to all the lands because of your wisdom and guidance to us. Thank you very much. Maraming salamat po. While I'm truly enjoying this present, I'd like to maximize my connections with everyone. And I hope to meet some of you I haven't met in person yet, and I'd love to connect with you here in the US or when I go back home. Thank you for listening, and may you all be filled with blessings.
Thank you, Rose. That is an inspirational journey, and we would love to meet with you in the Philippines. But now let's journey from the Philippines to Vietnam with Phong.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm truly honored to be with you all today. My name is Phương Phạm. I am a second-year ITE scholar from Vietnam. I'm currently pursuing a master's degree in International Educational Development at Teacher College, Columbia University. Today, I'm excited to share my story with you, the lesson I have learned, the growth I have experienced, and the gratitude I feel toward the Alpha Delta Kappa family that have supported me every step of the way. So my journey so far in the United States has been filled with warmth and love. I feel incredibly fortunate to immerse myself in academia and discover an entirely new world. If I have to highlight the thing I cherish most about my time here, this would be at the top of my list. First, it's gonna be like exploring breathtaking national park, enjoying the abundance of great libraries, having vibrant public park within walking distance, and last but not least, engaging with diverse community, including my Alpha Delta Kappa families. So the experience has enriched my understanding of what makes our world truly wonderful. So you may wonder, how did it all begin? I'm not sure if the other ITE scholars feel the same way, but even now, it still feels surreal to be living my biggest dream here, especially considering that I didn't dare to dream it at all. For most of my life, I believed I wasn't good enough to go very far. Everything changed when I decided to switch my career. I quit my marketing job, took a pay cut to work at a nonprofit educational organization, and eventually joined a brand new university as one of its first staff members. I still remember in 2019, I embarked on one of my first solo trips outside Southeast Asia, traveling on the way to Japan with my own saving. During that journey, I sent myself a postcard with an encouraging message. You step out of your comfort zone to travel as far as you can. You are capable of the long journey ahead. Be brave and be prepared for any opportunity. Stay resilient, stay humble, and be grateful for whatever life gives you. I know the message is a little bit cheesy, but that was the first time that I truly dared to dream and believe that I was capable of achieving something bigger. That postcard wasn't just a message to myself, it was a seed of empowerment planted by the incredible students that I have worked with. Witnessing how a high quality education transformed them gave me the courage to think that like maybe, just maybe that I could also do it too. So a wonderful word to me is simply that like one every child dare to dream. So like my fellow ITE scholar, I have just 2 years in the United States. My first year was all about finding the courage to move halfway around the world, immersing myself in new environment and connecting with meaningful communities. During this time, I call New York my home with a second home in Union, New Jersey. Last summer, I attended the Northeast Regional Conference in Philadelphia with my host family, Mariah and Doris, and my ITE sister, Dorsey. Throughout my travel across various states, I also had the privilege of making new friends. None of this would have been as smooth or fulfilling without the support of my host family and the wonderful women of Alpha Delta Kappa. Thank you for all your generous support. So this year, I have been challenging myself to trust my ability and step out of my comfort zone, both academically and professionally. So last semester, I worked closely with the New York City Department of Education on a project to strengthen multilingual education in public school. Did you know that like 1 in 5 students in New York City as English language learners? So many of them face pressure to learn English at the expense of their native language, resulting in subjective bilingualism. So these projects hold a special place in my heart because I myself also an English language learner. So thanks to this supported community, I've never felt marginalized or doubted my own voice. You all constantly reminded us how unique we are. Through this project, I want to pay it forward and help immigrant students in the same way you have helped me. So here is my cohort from last semester, where we all work as educational consultants with various clients. And next slide. And one image here, you see that capture my volunteering experience at a local public school where I had the chance to teach children about Vietnamese culture and show them how to use chopstick. I also want to share some of the best memory that I have made in the past few months with my sponsor, Mariah and Doris. The photo you are seeing now highlight memorable moment when my host family traveled all the way from Union to New York City to visit me. They took me to a Christmas show, treated me a lovely dinner. My friend and I even visited a lovely beach house of Mariah's in New Jersey. We also had a wonderful time at the conference in Philadelphia, where I finally meet Beth and Judy. And of course, I made sure to take a selfie with the wonderful woman in our chapter. Even though that I'm no longer 18 years old, I feel like they treat me like the youngest daughter, just starting college. So as I reflect my journey, I realize that a wonderful word in my views is when someone believes in you and encourage you to dream. when every child uniqueness is recognized, when you have access to parks, museums, and libraries, or when you find your own welcoming communities. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for believing in us, embracing our origin and stories, providing a second home away from home, taking us on trips, and surrounding us with warmth. As the saying goes, it takes village to raise a child. Thank you for being our village. I'm excited to finish my last semester here and graduate in May, and committed to making a positive impact ahead. Thank you for listening and being the best part of our journey here in the United States.
Wonderful, Fong. And now it's Sarah's turn to take us to Indonesia.
Hi, I'm Sarah Pradoto, a second-year ITE scholar from Indonesia. I'm currently a master's student at the University of Georgia, majoring in elementary education. Studying here in the US has been a fantastic experience, and it's an honor to share my wonderful journey with you. So let me take you back to the beginning of my journey in Indonesia. I graduated from the State University of Makassar, majoring in English education. Throughout my time in the teacher education program, I never imagined myself teaching young children. That all changed in my final year of university when I volunteered at a nonprofit school in my city. In my first year teaching kindergarten, I met Suchi, a cheerful girl who often bought only sweets for lunch. Learning about her challenging home life, I began sharing my food with her, and her friends soon joined in. One day, Suchi hugged me and said proudly, "Miss Sarah, I don't eat sweets anymore. I have rice and egg today." That moment stayed with me. Witnessing the transformative power of education and kindness in young children's life sparked my love for teaching early learners and a passion that continues to guide me today. My passion in early childhood education gave me the opportunity to receive a scholarship from the US Department of State to learn early child development at the Bunker Hill Community College in Boston in 2016. And this experience deepened my understanding of the importance of early child education. Since then, I've been working at the same nonprofit school for almost a decade. Starting in 2017, I became a program coordinator. In this role, I work closely with the former fishing community and impoverished families whose lives were deeply affected by sea reclamation. Working with these communities has been both challenging and inspiring. It reinforced my belief in the power of education as a tool for social change. My work with the community brought me here today, pursuing a master's degree to advocate for the rights of children in marginalized communities. One of the things I missed most during my time here in the US is observing Ramadan and celebrating Eid with my family. Ramadan is a sacred month for Muslims where we practice fasting from dawn to sunset for 30 days. During this time, we abstain from eating and drinking during daylight hours as an act of spiritual discipline and worship, to bring ourselves closer to God and to foster empathy for those who are less fortunate. In Indonesia, Ramadan is not just a blessing for Muslims, but for everyone. Work hours are usually shorter, and the streets come alive with vendors selling wide variety of desserts and meals to break the fast. It's a vibrant and heartwarming time of togetherness and reflection. After 30 days of fasting, we celebrate Eid al-Fitr with a special morning prayer, either in a mosque or an open field. Following the prayer, my family and I usually gather at my grandmother's house to share a feast of festive foods, creating cherished memories together. And this year, Ramadan will take place from late February to late March. The academic environment at University of Georgia has been both challenging and inspiring. During my time here, I had the opportunity to attend and present at the New Trends in Informatics Research Conference at the University at Albany in New York. I also presented a teaching learning project at the Red Clay Writing Project Conference. My project introduced a playing card to discuss sex education with children and teens. And last fall, I developed a website to provide wellness and well-being resources for teachers particularly in Indonesia. And at the same time, I also work as a research assistant with Dr. Morgan Faison. We are studying how to encourage Black high school students who take an early child education professional pathway to continue their interest in higher education. And this year, I will begin my capstone project, and I'm excited to graduate in May 2025. I also got opportunity to volunteer as a teacher assistant at Athens Forest Kindergarten. And another highlight of my time at University of Georgia has been attending games on campus, especially the football games. Go Dog! Watching the games on campus has been such an incredible experience, filled with energy, togetherness, and school spirit. It's truly one of the most memorable parts of my journey here. I also had the privilege of attending the Georgia State Convention and a Gulf Conference in summer. I had so much fun meeting all sisters from Georgia and across Gulf area. Participating in Alpha Delta Kappa activities deepened my appreciation for sincerity, commitment, and women's empowerment. The dedication and commitment shown by every sister in Alpha Delta Kappa have been truly inspiring. My wonderful journey in the US would not have been complete without the incredible support from my co-sponsor, Karen Wemsley, Kay Ashley, and all Georgia Psi Chapter sisters. And special thanks to Debbie Boswell, Terry Thompson, Dana Smith, and all the Alpha Delta Kappa sisters across Georgia for their warm encouragement and support throughout my studies. I also want to sincerely thank Alpha Delta Kappa sisters across the US for the thoughtful cards, gifts, and well wishes. Your unwavering support has meant the world to me. Last but not least, as I reflect on my wonderful educational journey, I want to express my gratitude to my wonderful world, my family, who always wholeheartedly support and encourage me to pursue my dreams and see the world.
Thank you, Sarah. Now let's travel from Indonesia to Bangladesh with Dosseen.
Dosseen, please start over and unmute.
Okay. Greetings from Cincinnati, or as I like to call it, the land where checking the weather forecast is must before heading out, especially for someone like me who gets cold easily and ends up sneezing all day. I'm Dosseen Marma, a second-year IT student from Bangladesh. I'm studying instructional design and technology at the University of Cincinnati, and I'm set to graduate in May 2025. So I'm at that delightful stage where coffee is my best friend and my to-do list is just a polite suggestion or my peers' assignments at this point. Before I start, let me tell you this. Sometimes dreams seem like distant stars, beautiful, but out of reach. But with dedication, those stars can fall right into your hands. I want to share a little bit about my journey. I grew up in a place where opportunities for quality education were not always guaranteed, and the idea of studying abroad felt more like a fantasy than a plan. But I was determined, and I believe that education should not be a privilege, it should be a right. That belief carried me from the path of Bandurban in Bangladesh to the bustling classrooms of UC. And trust me, navigating the world of grad school, coffee, and cold Cincinnati winters has been its own adventure. But what really fuels my journey is the why. Why am I here? Why does this matter? I realized that my dream wasn't just about achieving my goals. It was about making sure other children from all backgrounds get the chance to achieve theirs too. And it's not a dream anymore. It's a mission, and it's right here in my hands. And I'm so grateful to Alpha Delta Kappa for giving me the opportunity to study in the USA. Let me walk you to my roots. I grew up in a family where hard work wasn't just a value, it was a way of life. I have two kind younger sisters and 4 kittens at home. We didn't have luxuries. There were no shiny toys, no extravagant celebrations, but what we did have was something richer, an abundance of love, compassion, and an unspoken appreciation for every small success. Let me take you back to a pivotal moment in my life. I was in grade 9, and it was time to pay the $9 registration fee for my very first board exam. To many, $9 might seem a little amount, but to us, it felt like an impossible hurdle. My parents just couldn't afford it. But my mother wasn't one to let obstacles stand in my way. Quietly, she made a sacrifice I would never forget. She took her long, beautiful hair and walked to a hair salon. She had it cut, and she sold it. She returned home with $10 in her hand and a smile on her face. That money paid for my exam registration. As I held the receipt in my hand, I made a silent promise. One day, I will make her proud of my achievements. Years passed, filled with challenges and moments of doubt, but that promise stayed with me, like a compass pointing me forward. And then the day came, the day I received the Fulbright scholarship. My heart raced as I rushed to my mother, wrapped my arms around her, and shared the news. I got the scholarship. Her eyes filled with tears of joy, and I saw the happiest moment of her life. The dream I had carried for so long of studying abroad was no longer just a dream. It was real and within my grasp. This achievement is not just mine. It's for my mother, my family, and every child who dares to dream, no matter how small their beginnings. And so, my journey to the USA wasn't just a dream fulfilled. It was a promise kept. And it's just the beginning. I never imagined that I would pursue a master's in education until I began working with Rohingya refugee children for UNICEF Bangladesh. These refugees fled Myanmar and took shelter in Cox's Bazar. Here are some photos from my field visit. While working with the Rohingya children, I realized how technology can improve access to education, where we used radio as a tool for delivering content for children. I was thinking my indigenous children also need quality education, where they have to struggle with language barrier, live at the top of the hills, and walk for hours to school each day. And this experience made me realize the responsibility to take and work for those children and improve their quality of education. It's been a heavy listening to those stories, right? Now, let me lighten the mood by introducing some fun facts about my country. Bangladesh is full of festivals, and I would like to share 3 interesting ones from my community. The first one is Sangren, the Marma calendar New Year. On this day, we have water festival, which is quite fun. Boys and girls, they splash water on each other to celebrate and propose to their loved ones in a playful way. The second festival is Kotin Chibordan. During this event, Buddhists donate robes made from cloth woven on their own looms to the monks. And the third one is Pravarana Purnima, my favorite. During this festival, we fly lanterns in the sky, and boys and girls spend the whole night making pitha, a type of traditional cake, and serve them to the people the next morning. Let me now share my graduate life in the USA. My last year has been the most wonderful, and I have met some amazing friends, professors, who have always made me feel heard and valued, even during tough moments. I attended the various conferences which expanded my horizons, and this fall I had the incredible opportunity to work with the instructional design team at UC and a Senegal-based UN agency, IOM. In the last year and a half of my life in the USA, I have had the opportunity to explore different states, meet people, taste delicious food, take photos, and create memories that I will cherish when I return home. One of the most incredible moments was my visit to Seattle, where I enjoyed the breathtaking view of Mount Rainier and had food at the Space Needle. Another unforgettable experience was my trip to Niagara Falls, and I had wonderful times in other states too, and each trip added something special to my journey. Now, it's time to share some heartfelt moments and letters I received over the past few months. I want to offer my deepest gratitude for the inspiring words and thoughtful gifts that have lifted my spirits. In recent weeks, I have been overwhelmed with both personal and academic challenges, and a letter from Madam Barb and Madam Jo was a reminder that I was not alone. Her words made me feel like someone truly cares, praying for me during difficult times. And I also received this adorable cat card last month, a kind gesture from Madam Davy that brought a smile on my face. Your presence has meant the world to me. Now, let me share some moments of joy with my Alpha Delta Kappa sisters. Meet my sponsors, Denise ma'am and Judy ma'am. You both are so sweet and kind, and I'm truly thankful to Judy ma'am for driving me to conferences and Thanksgiving dinners. And Denise ma'am is always there to make my life easier here. And I had wonderful opportunity to attend the regional conference in Philadelphia last July. And I was so happy to meet Madam Judy, Madam Barb, and Fong. I loved working on the birthplace of America, and I'm grateful for everything you have done for me. Even though I'm far from home, you have never made me feel hopeless. I truly feel blessed, and my sponsors and sisters here are not just my friends. They feel like mothers from another blood. And today I want to say that I love you all deeply. You are my strength, giving me the courage to move forward and the kindness to embrace whatever life brings. And let's keep the connection for a long time. And thank you and have a wonderful day.
You, Dawsing. That was great. As you can see, these women are well prepared and excited to be crossing their own bridge back to the worlds from which they came. They came across the ITE bridge almost 2 years ago, filled with a passion for learning from and exploring our world. They will be returning across the bridge, determined to have significant impact on their own nations. Impacts come in many ways. As you can tell from the presentations, one of the most significant impacts on the scholars is the role their sponsors play in their lives. During their time with us, whether as first or second year scholars, they have each been generously and graciously supported by their Alpha Delta Kappa sponsors.
Each sponsor usually, each scholar usually has two sponsors. The December Kappan displayed pictures and information about our sponsors. Each scholar with their, each scholar with their sponsors work through the Alpha Delta Kappa community as well as the local educational system. The sponsors also importantly provide the scholars with an emotional and supportive family away from home. They play a key role in assuring that our scholars who are so far from home and family have a warm and welcoming home here. They meet them at the airports, help them get settled, take them shopping, and include them during their holidays. And that's a short list of what they do to support our scholars. Thank you to our current sponsors that you have seen online and to all of those who have been scholars in the past.
Alpha Delta Kappa community joins in that support. You send cards, letters, emails, and gifts. You share exuberant hugs when you meet these extraordinary women in person. You are a continual support to them. You're extraordinary builders of bridges to future worlds. Many of you have had the good fortune to enjoy numerous contacts with scholars over the years. Many of you are looking for ways you could give support to these women. We have another poll. Remember, the poll is just for fun if you have trouble making it work. check in this poll all the ways you have been able to connect with the ITE scholars over the years. Have you been a sponsor? Have you attended a workshop or learning session featuring an ITE scholar? Have you sent a birthday or holiday card or message of encouragement to an ITE scholar? Have you sent a gift? Have you invited a scholar to a chapter gathering? Have you personally chatted with a scholar at a chapter, SPN, or regional gathering? Has your chapter included a scholar or ITE program in your calendar of meetings?
Thirty seconds.
Well, the poll shows a lot of support. Thank you for reaching out to the IT scholars in so many ways. Please keep doing that. Our time together this afternoon is drawing to a close, and it's time to say some thank yous. Thank you so much to Phyllis Robinette for her technical support in bringing this webinar to you today. And thank you to each of our 7 scholars who spent a lot of time putting this production together, sharing their precious time with us as they prepared for this.
And thank you, Alpha Delta Kappa sisters, for attending this virtual gathering today. On behalf of the ITE board, your international leaders, and these extraordinary scholars, we appreciate your being with us today as we have celebrated ITE. What a wonderful world. And we hope that this time together has made you simply burst with pride at the excellence displayed by our 7 2024-2025 International Teacher Education Scholars. And please feel pride that you, along with these scholars, are the very embodiment of the dreams of our founders, the dreams of excellence in education, altruism, and world understanding, all brought together under one umbrella through Alpha Delta Kappa's inspiring ITE program. Now, it's time to conclude. But as we do, I hope that you'll reflect on the many ways that you personally have made our world so wonderful. And although we'll all be muted as we play the Lamp of Alpha Delta Kappa, sing along wherever you are in the world, and thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you in Austin this summer.
To